What's going on?
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts feeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. No, I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If you wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.
Where's Ken?
I
Oh,
ate him.
look, we've conjured a special guest host tonight. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dead Air Live, the Dead Air Full Spectrum channel. It is our Sunday night show. The next hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, in and around the topic of the paranormal. And we thank you guys for joining us. The chat is filling up rapidly. All of our wonderful friends and family joining us tonight. Our Patreon members joining us tonight. Patreon, by the way, guys, each and every Monday night, Town Hall is where we all gather on screen together. You're a Patreon member, you got a camera, you can be on screen with myself and Mr. DaCosta, 8 p.m. every Monday night. But then on Patreon itself, just a slew of information, educational and entertainment, from investigations to tutorials. You guys can all check it out, all for the hefty price of $3 a month. $3. $3. And you guys can join up, check everything out. If you decide you're going to leave, you can leave, but we'd love for you to stay as we add more and more stuff to it. But this is an important part, guys. We always say every single social media person that's on YouTube has to say it. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and the reminder bell. Always important. Each time, all you guys that are regularly in there should be clicking that thumbs up right off the bat. And I can see it on screen. It shows me how many thumbs up. So make sure you guys take care of that. Does this person on screen look familiar? She's been a guest of
Hello,
ours in the
everybody.
past. She is a TikTok sensation. She is a wonderful partner here in the paranormal. We welcome Tharyn Beyond the Veil. Good evening, and thanks for being my co-host tonight.
Oh, I was so thrilled when you messaged me about this. I was like, yes, it's everything I've ever wanted. You have no idea.
And we pretty much at this point in time uh, have decided that Tharyn's going to be doing a lot of the questions. Here's why. Um, there's a generational gap for us older guys and older gals that have been doing this for 20 some years, Ken for 50 years, that we did not grow up during the time of social media. We did not get into this field at the time that it was so prevalent as it is today. And there is a rotting opinion uh, about social media and its aspect here in the field. I think it's critically important. I think it's the next evolution of this field. I think that in its infancy, it is going to grow to be absolutely important, and we've seen it
Hmm.
in some cases, whether it was the alien drones in the Northeast, to other things that are just captured on film from people going about their business. So when you're focused on it, when you're doing things such as going to Gettysburg or you're going to a battleship, all these different things are important because they're quick on the draw. Just
Hmm.
like the old gunslinger days, they can pull themselves together real quick and fling out that camera real quick
Hmm.
and possibly capture something. That's the important part to this. And that's why we have our guest that's joining us tonight. And I can tell you again that this is somebody that, when we reached out, was excited. When we were setting up for the show, was excited, and before airing, posting on her TikTok page showed a lot of excitement. So we're thrilled to have her on. She said she was a little kind of nervous. She's got a lot of things going on, a lot of different activities that are coming up. We'll show some of that tonight. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, from Till Death Investigations, please welcome Tabby.
Hello.
Hello. Let me go down here. I'm
Yes,
beneath
sir.
women. I'm beneath women.
Good.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much. You hit the nail on the head. I am excited. Oh my gosh. And apologies for the light too. It's hilarious that my ring light is doing the thing that it's doing now because I've posted videos before about the fact that this ring light only turns off when my resident spirit Benjamin wants to say hi. And I was like, there's no way that it's starting to turn off by itself as I'm about to be brought up on stage. He was like, oh, she's going to talk about me.
Oh my God. You guys are just going to be just absolutely made for each other for tonight. And
I
we were
know.
joking, I think yesterday, with some of the spirit guide videos. It's kind of sarcastic in what Tharyn was doing on TikTok. Just the kind of things that go through our mind about interacting with spirit guides and guardian angels. So pretty
Mhm.
interesting for that to emerge first and foremost.
Yeah.
But before we get into the questions, tell everybody a little bit about your origin story with regards to the paranormal.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite stories. I got into the paranormal accidentally as a kid. Learned I was energy sensitive. I like to say sensitive, I learned I was sensitive very young in life. I think I was 13 when I started, having random toys go off in my closet in the middle of the night, which I was quick to shake off at first. And then, excuse me, I think the most noticeable thing that made me think like, huh, I wonder what was going on here was, whenever I would be in the car with a parent and drive by like a cemetery, somewhere with a lot of compacted energy, I would get a little ball of a headache somewhere in my forehead, which I now know, Austin, you're awesome, which I now know is a paranormal tell of mine. I word it like a ball. It's literally just a teeny little ball that appears in my forehead as pain, and it lasts 20, 30 seconds. So all of it, I kind of, was like, huh, I kept it in the back of my head. But I didn't think too much of it until I was 16 or 17 and started hearing music and random voices. And it wasn't like, just voices. It would be the voice of like somebody I knew. And it was very easy to know that it was not somebody I knew because chances are I was home and I lived in New Jersey at the time. It would be me and my mother in the house, and that's it. And I would hear like my dad's voice or like my best friend's voice who lived in Maryland at the time, where I live now. And it would just be Tabby, like trying to get my attention. And I'd be like, cool, you're not there, and just shake it off. But I would hear music, like really faint music. Like MP3s were really big back then. So it would sound like, when you have a friend that's listening to MP3 with the earplugs, really loud so you can hear it kind of from a distance, like just real faint muffled music. And what really confirmed that I had been experiencing paranormal activity was that I saw my first apparition when I was 17. And that's what kind of threw me into it. I was fearful, of course, at first. And when I was around 19 or 20, I was quick to, put it out into the universe to be like, okay, I don't know what's happening, but I don't think I like it. Like I was so new into it. I didn't know anything that I know now.
Right.
So I didn't want it to happen. So, a good 10, little over 10 years went by before I allowed myself to get back into it. And when I did, I I mean, I fell flat on my face in love with all of it. I There goes the light. I set foot in Gettysburg for the first time. I was just there to visit the orphanage. The National Homestead Orphanage
Right.
is the orphanage, in Gettysburg. And we're doing the tour. We're walking around the building, and I'm just taking pictures, whatever. And I turn, and I take a picture of a fence, and I'm leaving that off. So I now know that behind that fence was the cemetery, and the Evergreen Cemetery. And I caught an apparition, and you can see his soldier cap and everything. And it was my first post to kind of blow up on TikTok. But obviously, after I saw that picture, I was like, okay, that's my first time in Gettysburg ever. It's my first time ghost hunting ever. And I caught this clear as day. And I really got to flex my sensitivities to myself that night,
Right.
in that, I'm a mother. So I learned in this instance, when I set foot in the orphanage, that children spirits like me because they know I'm a mom. And I vividly felt, probably one of my favorite first experiences ever. I vividly felt like, how when a kid sits on your foot and kind of like holds onto your leg while you walk? I
Yep.
felt that clear as day within 10 minutes of setting foot in the basement of the orphanage. I felt my shirt being tugged on. I felt my hair being tugged on. I could feel them standing near me. And that's what really made me like, oh my gosh, I'm sensitive like that. And fell in love. Fascinated. I love every second of it.
That's incredible. And again, there are those of you that I absolutely hate because you're so gifted, and it just comes naturally. And I've had to work years for that part of it. But I am. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be the guy behind the double-sided mirror. I'm just let you guys go at it, watch, and then I'll come in and play the bad cop at the end of it.
Sounds good.
It's wrong, but Tharyn, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you because I'm sure, again, you guys have a lot of like-minded things, and I know you've written your questions down. So I'll just monitor the chat for the time being, and I'll be back with you guys in a little bit.
All
All right.
right.
Yay.
So, Liz, first of all, you talked about the Gettysburg Orphanage.
Mhm.
A place is insane.
It's
Like, it's an
insane.
insane place to be. And, like, it's not what you expect and everything you think it's going to be at the
Mhm.
same time. You know what I mean?
It really
You're
is.
talking about, yeah, you've been talking about sensitivity. So, since you've discovered the sensitive parts of yourself when it comes to spiritual things,
Mhm.
how do you find that it's cultivated or expanded over time? And like, have you been doing anything to kind of enhance it anyway, or just like I'm feeling it out as we go? Just curiously.
A little bit of both. So I definitely notice at like certain times throughout the month, it's more prominent. I I joke with everybody close to me that I have raw days. Those are the days where I genuinely feel like I can't control it, which is a lot because I've been a very spiritually balanced person my whole life. I'm big in incense. I've always been big in crystals. Always been big in making sure you feel centered and calm, and the breathing techniques and just anxiety methods and just all of that. Like it's all spiritual. It's all balancing work. So I've always been big into it. So I noticed very quickly that that does help to kind of bring it back if I'm not feeling balanced enough to feel sensitive. I definitely have days where, working in Gettysburg, I definitely have days where I walk into this house that I work at and I feel nothing. And then sometimes I'm 2 miles down the road and I'm like, this spirit, okay, these three at least are going to be active tonight. I can feel them. So it really depends on the day sometimes. But I do a lot of I do a lot of, hey, Drew, I guess mental preparation. I do a lot of, it's going to sound crazy, but I guess not to you, talking to them, talking to spirits in my head, you know?
Oh, that's not crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell people all the time, they're
You-
spirits, but like they're people, but they're spirits. They live in a different realm. They can hear you, they can feel you, they know you, they can read you. And I've
You
proven
can
that
be
time and time
friends
again.
with
Yeah,
ghosts. And they'd be
absolutely.
like, "Hey, what's up, Temmie?" And he's like, "Hey, yo,
Absolutely.
Bob." Yeah, no, you were
Absolutely.
describing the way you were describing your abilities. For you were talking about third eye pain. I was like, "Oh, I resonate." Because
Yeah.
sometimes you walk into a place, it's not even necessarily that it's bad. It's just like it's a lot, and it just right in the forehead, and you're just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
"All
You're
right."
like energy shift
And
happening now.
energy shift. Yeah, all right, we are in the zone. Like I'm locked in now.
Yep.
You're talking the way you described your abilities. You were talking about being claircognizant and clairaudient, which I
Yep.
say I personally feel is like claircog is where you can visualize really well. You can
Hmm.
like know things and visualize things, and like it's not about just being like there's a spirit here. It's a spirit. And he looks like this, and this is what he's talking like, and I see him moving like this, but I see it here. Not here, but I
Yep.
see it here.
Exactly.
And then hearing things. That's the first one. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're losing it. You're crazy.
Hmm.
You aren't hearing things." And you're just like, "Bro, no, you don't understand." I don't
Yep.
hear people just be like, "Do you like waffles?"
Exactly.
I like waffles.
Exactly.
So with building relationships with spirits, and like becoming friends, what has been the most interesting aspect of that process? Like, what have you learned in understanding ghosts from like a completely different time period, people that lived in a
Yeah.
completely different time than you do?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing I've learned that I tell everybody, especially on my tours, is that they are people. And people generally pick and choose who they want to talk to. They have different relationships with different people. They're going to interact with different people in different ways. So I see that in the relationships I've formed with certain spirits, like Benjamin, my spirit guide slash resident spirit. And I'm going to bring up the example of Mr. John Creets, who I call my bestie on my tours at the house I work at, because me and him have a very interesting relationship. And it started off rocky because he is a grumpy old man through and through spirit, and now oh my gosh, we joke like best friends. Like, wholeheartedly, I've never gotten confirmation on his age. Energetically, I have. Spiritually, I have. I want to say 56, 50, 56. I was going to say 57, and my brain was like, nope, it's 56. 100% grumpy old
Take that.
man.
Don't even question that. When it corrects itself before you've even had a second to
Exactly.
think through it, that's when you know it's some psychic work right now.
Exactly.
I
My
speak
brain
from
was like, no, no,
experience.
no, he is. You're right.
But to follow on like being friends with spirits, like you're building the relationship. You understand where their feelings are, how they're working with. How much backlash do you get for that? How much like, no, that's not what it's like. Like you know what you're talking about. That's not what it is. How much do you deal with in that regard?
Oh man, it depends on the person, really. I was gonna say creator because it's normally with other creators. It's normally with creators who have formed their own opinions on these things that, I still don't know to this day if they do have the same outlet as I do in order to form and maintain these relationships with spirits as I do. Because like I post everything in the world. I don't post consistent content at that house. Of course I post every now and then. It's not old, you're right. I post every now and then about going to Knox and Ridge, and my experiences there, but I'm not, I don't post every single experience I have with this specific spirit. So I'm like, I always shake it off, like every time.
I I understand this as a creator. I'm someone that builds a lot on my own experience. I've
Mhm.
been investigating for goodness gracious age. It's we're going to the 2 decades mark at this
Yeah.
point, and
Awesome.
there will always be discourse in that of perception and what people expect it to look like, what it actually looks like, what they saw on TV versus other
Oh,
creators and what they're doing. I don't see where it has to be an argument. I think it's
exactly.
like perception of difference. And it's frustrating at times that as much as we've built communities to be able to share passion and interest, we've also gotten alienated from each other in a very
Mhm.
similar way. Would you like, do you feel that sometimes, like other people, you're not ghostly enough for me, like you don't call them demons, what's wrong with you, like.
Yes, 1,000%. Oh my gosh. I for the past 2 or 3 weeks now, it's been like the main topic of conversation I have with other creators. And honestly, my closest friends these days are other creators too. It's again, it's that passion. It's the shared passion. It's more than one shared passion, really. It's the paranormal. It's the content creation. It's the willingness to create a community. It's the willingness to teach and educate people, viewers on the
Mhm.
paranormal. Oh my gosh, Benjamin, quit it. Um, so it's it's the desire to let people know that they're not crazy for believing in this stuff,
Mhm.
But from the very beginning, I would see the, well, you're not doing this and that in your content, or you're having fun with it in your content, therefore it's not real. Or you're too young. What do you know about the paranormal? And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm 32. Um, am I a
Yeah,
22-year-old? Like, what do you mean? Am I too young for this? What?
yeah, I'm 36. I get it. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you're too young. And I'm like, you have no idea how old I actually am.
Yeah.
It's a funny discourse that happens of like, I don't try to like I don't try to like
Mhm.
specify in the way of like the new guard versus the old guard. I
Yeah.
think a lot of it came from a steep of fear,
Yeah.
a misunderstanding of what happens when we pass, and it
Yeah.
really kind of messed with people's perception of that. Like if you think
Mhm.
about societally, Christian belief systems and things like
Mhm.
that, they're very like you go here or there, and there's nothing in
Yeah.
between. But paranormal phenomena, existence of spirits in general, messes with that idea. So a lot of it is very much belief. We
Mhm.
have some understanding that they do be doing certain things. Like they do be
Yeah.
saying things like, I'm evil and I'll kill your soul. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you're just like, no, you have the energy of a russet potato. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, oh, there's a man here. Tell me your name. My name is Satan. I literally every time I'm like, oh, that's adorable. What's your name? Like, I literally skip right past it. My guest's get a kick out of it.
That's so cute, bud. It happened to me, Old Jail St. Augustine. We were sitting there, and I have this habit. Like, I guess I'm liked because when I go to places, I'll go in and be like, "Thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight. It's very good to meet you." They're like, "It's Tharyn. Tharyn's here," and I'm like, "How do you know my name?" And in St. Augustine, in St. Augustine, they were like, "I'm a demon," and I was like, "Are you?"
Are you?
That's fantastic. Can you do some demony things for me, please?
Exactly. Yep.
And then crickets.
Yeah.
It's funny, like the understanding or the belief system that they're all evil spirits. They're just
Yeah.
trying to trick you. But it's like, why would a demon take all the energy and time to talk to me through my equipment and tell
Yep.
me their life for what purpose? Because I'm not taking them home with me.
Exactly.
I'm leaving this place and going home and taking a
Mhm.
nap and getting Waffle House. It it gets so silly sometimes, truly.
It
And being a
does.
creator, have you ever run into the idea of like you need to share more of your space? You need to give more to us of like evidence, give us more proof, give us more X or Y. Like it's entertaining
Mhm.
and you have to entertain, my friend. Please, let's go. Do you run into that at all
Yeah.
as a creator?
I think the main part of that I do run into is the fact that I do not make the 20, 30, 60 minute long videos.
Mm-hmm.
I really stick to short form videos, which, I've gone up to like 10 minutes or so. Like last year I did a lot of long form videos. Um, this year, gosh, I think the longest one I did was maybe 9 or 10 minutes. But really, I try to compact it all into that, just as small of a video as possible,
Mm-hmm.
because I work in marketing. I I have an LLC where
You're not
I
going to
do
win this
short form.
fight.
I'm not gonna win this fight. I'm not. So I have an LLC where I do short form content and marketing guidance, all of that, and my niche is paranormal. And I tell people that for the past, like, oh my gosh, I think 6 years now, 5 or 6 years now, the number one most consumed form of content is short form video. So even when creators ask me, like how else, what kind of videos should I be making? Like I have a YouTube, should I be posting on YouTube? I have an Instagram, should I be posting on Instagram? I'm like, well, first of all, yeah, I mean, if you have other channels, cross post, absolutely. The more exposure, the better. But don't feel like you need to do long videos if your short videos are performing well. And that's really how I view it. So that's really the only thing I run into is just people asking where the long videos are. And I'm like, well, listen, I can send you the raw footage. This 3-minute video raw is like 9.5 minutes. I can send you that, sure.
It's also different audiences from platform to platform.
Yes.
Instagram versus
Oh my
TikTok
gosh,
versus
yeah.
YouTube, and what they require in the effort you make. Like just being like, listen to the CVP that I got is not enough. They want to know, how did you get it? What equipment did you
Yeah.
use? And I get that part because that's showing like this is the parameter of which we're working in.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of additional work on our part to not only do the work but to do the work on the back end of everything.
Exactly.
I don't think people understand how long it actually takes to review audio. And you have to listen to that same clip 15 times to know for sure if you heard a hello or if you heard you're not sure.
Exactly. The whole time it was somebody's stomach growling, and it took you 37 minutes to figure that out because you were so like,
Yeah, well,
that's something, I know it.
I thought once that I heard a chair creak across the floor in a room where nobody was, and I got so excited. No, somebody sneezed in a different part of the building, and I was so angry. But also, like,
Yeah.
I think, like, I wonder if you thought about how, like, paranormal has gotten so much bigger because it can be like, I'm in this haunted house. You want to come with me? Like, let's go. We're going live together. Do you ever wonder if like we're losing some of that integrity of like the plan process, the work process, and the actual like shutdown that we have in that?
I do. I think, like, do you mean more so like with the too much fun aspect of it? Because
No. I say
I
have
think I
fun. Personally,
agree.
my personal
Yeah.
belief is if you're not having fun, you're not living.
Yeah.
And if
Oh
I'm
yeah, for sure.
having
Make it fun.
make it fun,
Yeah.
like ask the questions you want, have fun with it, take breaks, be like, so this is Bubble
Yeah.
Blast game that I play. Do you want to try it? It's really fun.
Mhm.
But I mean, like, a lot of what investigation was it's preventing outside influence, preventing bias, preventing the break in the chain of command with evidence. And we've kind of turned it more into watch the process unfold, but it does at times get distracting.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
think we're kind of losing that integrity of the evidential portion of things in any capacity with how much it's more about watch us do this rather than focusing on it in the real time?
Absolutely. And that's something I try to focus on in my videos too, is like, with the spirit box session, I'll put the words on the screen so you can pause and rewind and re-listen as much as you want. So you can kind of train yourself to, listen to a spirit box better, or, breaking down what a REM pod is and how to break down the colors of the different lights and everything, and just explaining it instead of just the REM pod's going off, like it's just, instead of just being there, it's actually being like, hey, the REM pod's going off, but this is why it's going off. This is what a REM pod is. And even if I don't say it in the video, I put it in the caption. Because the captions I've learned, the longer the caption, the more informative and explanatory the captions are. It helps so much, especially if it's a really short, under 60-second long video. It helps, and people appreciate that.
Yeah, if you, I that is something with audio specifically. Is like there are times where I was like, I'm not going to tell you what I think it's saying. I want you to discern what you think it
Yep.
is. And then sometimes people don't hear anything, and that's valid. Some people like, I heard it say Michigan. I'm like, that's really interesting. I'm not in Michigan, but cool.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows the difference of like the perception of what you're listening for, because I think that shows the expectation of process rather than the natural of, oh, well, this sounds, let's see how we can condense enough to figure out what it is. But when you put words on, sometimes it makes me feel like we're designing the section of like, this is what we want you to look at it as.
Yeah.
But it's not that clear sometimes. So being able, it's great that you're explaining it to people. Like there's a lot of room for error in what we do because of how much work there is to do. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
Photographs. Photographs are not my strong suit. I don't think I've ever gotten a good ghost photograph in my year. Oh, really? I'm so serious. I've had every kind of camera, but I can't. I'm like, Snap, I know I feel you in here. I know you're in here somewhere.
Show yourself.
It's just be like, I feel like I'm in Frozen. Show yourself, just not on
I love that
camera.
song. Yeah.
um, but like with working to gather your own evidence, what are your favorite methodologies that you use? What make you feel the most confident that you're doing it the best way for you and what you're trying to ascertain in the process?
The best way. That's a hard one because I tell people, there's no such thing as a wrong method of investigating, Like I know some people that
100%.
I know some people that strictly use their eyes and ears, which I tell people is my favorite piece of equipment, your eyes and ears. I know people that strictly need to use the entire case of equipment. I know people that need to set up a static cam and feel that it's all right. I genuinely feel like it's all right. I don't think there is a wrong way. I think my favorite, possibly my it's possibly my favorite just because I have the outlet to do so, is set up a bunch of equipment, walk around, feel the place out, go sit at the table and open my phone and scroll and just wait. And just listen, just feel, maybe record a video of me eating or something
Oh
and
yeah.
just kind
Oh,
of just us
I've
hi.
I've
Sorry.
almost taken a nap more than once.
Oh my gosh,
Just
yeah, I
waiting,
love
just
it.
chilling, just like
Yeah,
if you guys, whatever. I got my camera rolling. I'm just
yeah,
gonna just
exactly.
go.
Like probably
I
one of my
think
favorite, yeah.
no. What were you gonna say? No, what were you gonna say?
Oh, so probably one of my favorite videos I've ever posted that my followers have no idea is one of my favorite videos I've ever posted because it was just a regular video, it just performed normally. I was eating. I got to the house early for my ghost hunt guide shift because I always try to get there at least an hour early so that way I can feel it out. Um, and I set up the camera. I went to Sheets beforehand and I got my favorite little sampler, which is mozzarella sticks, mac and cheese bites, mac and cheese bites. And I'm sitting there.
Twins.
Yes.
Wait, do you get boom boom sauce to go with it?
No, but I've recently tried it and I love it.
Ah, twins.
But yeah, so like I'm just sitting there, like I wasn't even investigating, like I don't think I had equipment out. But yeah, like I had my phone out and I just put it down and then you just see me eating. And then I'm like, I pick up a K2 and I turn it on and I'm a good few feet away. So I showed the camera, I do the thing like I do, like, here, look, it's red now. Now it's not. Like doing that quick little confirmation that it's not my phone. And I'm just like holding it near me, it starts to flicker, and I'm like, and then I just hold it next to me. Like you can't see. I'm like holding it next to me, and I'm just eating. And I hear a floorboard creak, and I'm like, I'm eating mozzarella sticks and mac and cheese bites. You want some? You can have some if you want. And then it starts flickering red, and I was like, yeah, take one, man.
It's like cheese. Like cheese. I don't know what it is, but I brought cheese. I brought it a few times, and they were like, "Oh, cheese." Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but heck yeah, man. No, I love the casualness of it. Like evidence gathering doesn't always have to just be very like, oh, buy the book. I don't know what book, but like a book
Right.
apparently. You can use like very little and then use a lot at the same time.
Oh my gosh,
I'm a
yeah.
minimalist with my work. I like my audio work. I have my S box and then I
Hmm.
have a program that I use. We see where those match up.
Hmm.
And me and my partner both psychically inclined. So a lot of the
Hmm.
work we do is separately. We'll go around, we'll make notes, and then all right, let's ask questions and
Yeah.
what happens. And then it'll be very casual, like, what's your favorite color?
Hmm.
And what am I? It's also when you're just like not really paying attention.
Yeah.
It's the when you're so most zoned out in the moment, especially during Estes, when they
Hmm.
start talking to you directly, not to the question, but they're like, "Hey, Tabby, you want to see something funny?
Oh my
What am I
gosh, yeah.
seeing? What am I seeing that's funny?" And they're like, "Who are you talking to?" And it just feels like it's in your head, but it's not. You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank God, because I've
I've
tried to
had
explain this phenomena. It's
yeah.
difficult to explain when you're experienced and like an experienced Estes user, and I mean the listener, because that takes a lot of
Yes.
practice to do.
Lot.
Sometimes you'll realize in the conversation they're not talking to them anymore; they're talking to you
Oh yeah. Oh my
specifically.
gosh, yeah. Yep, because that's something else I teach too, of course. I'm always like, here's how the spirit boxes work, blah, blah, blah. And if you want to try Estes, here's the headphones and the mask. If you want to try it, but you don't want to listen, let me know. I'll go under Estes for 30 minutes if I have to, because I love it. Being an
That's
experienced
not even a
listener is
threat.
fun. It's
You
a
like
lot.
threat me a time.
Yeah, my favorite is like I'll go under Estes, and like especially if it's in my house or at the house I work at or the haunted attraction I work at, which is very haunted. We'll get into that later. Like places where spirits know me. I'll
Mhm.
put on the freaking headphones and just a burp. I'm like, cool. Anyway.
I the drive-bys. The
Exactly.
drive-bys. You might find this funny. I recently did an undisclosed investigation. I got invited
Yeah.
to a place that you're not allowed to go publicly, but they
Mhm.
trust me enough to go.
Yeah.
One of the randomest things was hearing somebody talk about something. It was a human. It was just like, yeah, I just don't really understand like why that would happen. And then out of nowhere, you hear my spirit box go off, and it goes pendejo. And I was like, who are you talking?
Yep. Yep.
And like I was shocked because also this site is like very, very old. It was in like the late 17, early 1800s. I was like, I didn't even know that you would be around here specifically speaking Spanish. So like
Hmm.
then that was so funny because I was like, I wasn't even expecting that. Like that was out of pendejo, out of
Yeah.
nowhere. Never came back. No again after
Yep.
that. It was wild. But like on the process, right? We do a lot of
Mhm.
the SS method is great. The
Mhm.
like all the methodology. Have you ever had experiences with when you're teaching people the initial like fear of the process of like the fear of connection, fear of that? How do you help guide people through that process specifically?
So I have a thing that I always do. Like it started with just me and then just my, friends I would investigate with and then eventually my teammates. And now I teach it to every guest out there. And now every time I hear a guest say it, it warms my heart so much. I always say, no matter where I go, hi, spirit friends. I always call them friends. No matter, even if it's 100%, I walk in and I like damn near start crying, from the negative energy. I just still am
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, like could be the optimist in me, could be the fact that I as an investigator have proven this to work time and time again. But
Mm-hmm.
walking in and calling them friends, I like to think kind of drops their guard as a spirit
Mm-hmm.
that's like, what are they doing here? Why are they coming to talk to me? Like they're kind of like, well, she wants to be friends, And like I've seen it work in the sense of, you turn the spirit box on and when I'm like, hey, can you say hello for us? Can you say hi for us as clear as you can? Hi, friend. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's a friend. Hi. you know? So like
You humanize the humans.
exactly. Exactly. And I've seen people do that, where they say they're scared to try to connect, even with like GhostTube, Spirit Talker, M3, like any of the apps. They're like scared to turn it on because they are scared of what they will hear or something. I'm like, listen, spirits are people. You just can't see them.
Mm-hmm.
Treat them like people.
Mm-hmm.
Treat them like it's a
Mm-hmm.
friend like a person you're about to make friends with. Like not that you could make friends with, you're about to make friends with because you're about to have a
Mm-hmm.
conversation with them, right? So you're going to become friends. Treat it like that.
Oh my goodness. So, within that same vein, navigating from ghosts, the fear of demons. A
Mhm.
lot of people believe they're just everywhere waiting for us, and that every ghost
Mhm.
you talk to is just eat your soul and suck it out of your butt with a bendy straw. Do you run into that as often as we used to? Because I think the shift has happened a little bit more. Like, hey, maybe it is just a ghost and not actually a
Mhm.
demon. But do you still run into that in the wild? And what are your thoughts about that process and thought? And like, where are your beliefs in that specifically?
I definitely run into it, especially with at the house I work at. People will walk in and be like, "Oh, it's clearly demons. It's clearly demons." I'm like, first of all, I'm here all the time. If anybody here knows if there's demons here, it's me. There's not, you know, and if there were, I don't think all of us would be like coherent and talking to us face to face right now and like being aware of everything that we're saying right now. I don't think everything would be on the shelves. I don't think we're fine. Then and even then, like demons are just a big mysterious question mark in my brain to me. They
Mm-hmm.
always have been, but the more that I experience negative entities, and confirm what kind of entities or what kind of activity I'm getting that's negative, the more that I'm like, okay, what is a demon? Because I've
Ooh.
interacted with mimics on numerous
Mm.
occasions, especially the past few months, because the haunted attraction I work at absolutely has a mimic. And I question if it has a SW. I will never be caught dead saying the full spelled out skin.
Mm.
Won't be caught
The
dead saying
yes.
it.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I've
So.
heard the mimic numerous times. I've been
Mhm.
physically affected. I say possessed is a strong word. It's like hate being a strong word. You won't catch
Mhm.
me saying I was possessed, even when I was negatively influenced. This first time I ever investigated there,
Mhm.
I mean, I was full blown throwing up, and then was dry heaving whenever the person that was with me started to play a gospel song to try to pull me out of it. I still wouldn't say I was possessed.
Hmm.
I would be, fine physically. He would turn a song on, and I would start to dry heave. Of course, I was freaked out, but I
Hmm.
was like, no, I'm not possessed. It's influence. I'm negatively influenced, because it's a strong word.
See, that's fascinating because that's how I would explain it in my line of work.
Mhm.
I do negative energy removals.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, the energy is created by the person themselves. It is not a demonic entity
Yeah.
because, in my experience, if it's a demon, you will know because they will make
Yes.
sure that you know that.
Yes.
With like the term mimic, that's a really new term to me. I've seen it
Mhm.
a lot more recently of like it's a mimic. Do
Yeah.
you think those follow the same line as like a thought form spirit where we're creating that energy and it's adopting a personality? Or do you think it's some kind of different derivative entirely? I'm curious what your take is on that.
I think I lean more towards the first one, specifically because it's at a haunted attraction where this
Mm-hmm.
entity is. And from the very first time I investigated there, which I mean I've investigated there easily like 15, 20 times at this point, especially because I'm a scare actor there now. Um, I think that the managers there are correct in saying that the excitement and the fear that walks into that building and builds in that building feeds it. And the
Mm-hmm.
nights that the haunts happen, there's a lot of activity after because
Mm-hmm.
it's freshly fed. So I like
Mm-hmm.
to think that, with this specific building and property, it was built in the 60s. Um, it's on Native American land. It's, that there was a cemetery there at some point before the building was built. Because when it was built,
Mm-hmm.
it was a movie theater, a functioning movie
Oh.
theater for like 50 years, 50-ish years, was abandoned for a few years, and then was
Mm-hmm.
bought to be turned into a haunted attraction. And that's when they were, doing the construction and was like, cool, this is haunted anyway, and then just kept building anyway.
Moving on.
But I mean, it's my favorite place to investigate now because it's just fascinating because I do want to know what it is. And like with mimics or demons or SWs or any of that, that's what brings the question to me, like in my mind, of okay, if this is some kind of demon, it's clearly a negative entity, but what kind of negative entity? That brings
Mm-hmm.
me to, like, do they all have different forms of letting people know what they are? How were they formed? Is it because they're spirits that are 1,000 years old that have
Mm-hmm.
deteriorated over time? I posted a video about that a few months ago, just kind of like, do you think spirits deteriorate over time? Like, do they turn
Yes.
negative? Like, just like an interactive kind of
I
question.
do I do think they deteriorate over time.
I love that.
That my personal theory with spirit with we'll talk like for the semantics of the word, we're gonna say ghosts. Spirits
Mhm.
will qualify as anything beyond a ghost, and then
Yeah.
ghosts are human souls that are now still existing in our space.
Mhm.
I do believe ghosts have a shelf life.
Yeah.
I rate about 250 to 300 years.
Mhm.
Depending on the feed of energy, depending on what they feed on, energetically speaking, is it like just the energy of people in general? Is it fear?
Mhm.
Is it joy? Like I find spirits, and I would love to know what your theory is about ghosts in general, like how they come to be. Theoretically speaking, I believe ghosts are remnant emotions.
Mhm.
And emotions are too heavy to carry. So we tend to notice like ghosts are emotional creatures. They
Mhm.
get very upbeat about things. They get very specific about things. When you talk they know about their life, they get very impassioned about it, or the last things they remember, they are very stuck in those feelings
Mhm.
specifically.
Yeah.
And with what we're talking about with these thought forms, I do think like from perspective of the work that I do, they're created by people, the energy they're putting out. But I
Mhm.
do also think in some aspects, there is like a smaller fraction of a ghost that's behind it, but you
Mhm.
kind of lose the sense of what that is over time because it just becomes whatever it's been created to be.
Yeah.
The big scary monster in the corner of the room, or that
Mhm.
strange shadow and smell in the basement. It may have
Yeah.
been somebody that was there originally, but now it's amalgamated based off of the feelings that it get put into it instead. People
Yeah.
around it.
100%. 100%. And I think, kind of to add on to that thought, I think that if a specific spirit is attached to a specific area or building, house, whatever, and enough people walk into that house scared of it, it's almost like when you tell a child, "Oh, you'll never be this, you'll never be that," and they genuinely grow up believing they'll never be this and that. Like it's kind of like that. They're like, "Am I just this giant scary thing? I guess that's what I am," and just kind of accidentally turns into it.
It kind of just further proves human consciousness after death because we as creatures like mentally neurologically we create paths of
Mhm.
understanding based off experience, and we
Yes.
believe the things that we're told about ourselves based off of the people
Mhm.
who are telling it to us, our parents, friends, society. Oh, you're never going to succeed, you're never going to get here, or you're going to be this and you're going to be this. The way that that interaction happens is going to determine your thoughts. So when
Mhm.
even after death it shows that consciousness of I'm still human and I'm still
Mhm.
affected by what you're telling me and it hurts me and I'm just going to hold it because I don't know what else to do with
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Exactly. Like I keep
Hive
saying, they're
minds.
people. They're
They
people.
are people. No, they're people. And I think people miss that part about it. Like, it's fantastical, it's mystical, it's magic, it's scary, it's,
Yeah,
oh, the noise that I asked for.
exactly.
Sorry, Mickey Mouse impression for no reason. That's a secret Mouscateur. Tell you later.
Love it.
But like when you think about spirits, they're a manifestation of such.
Mhm.
Where does your mind kind of take you to that? What does your instinct tell you based off what you've learned about them as to what they are to you?
Yeah. I lean a lot on like what you said, the energy, the stone tape theory, sudden traumatic deaths, trauma in life. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I will bring up an example of one of the spirits at the house I work at named Catherine and Walter. It was a married couple. Miss Catherine was killed in this house. Her husband did not die in that house, but he is one of the most prominent negative spirits there
Mm-hmm.
because of the amount of trauma that happened that he caused in that house. I've regularly interacted with the spirit and I've regularly got confirmation from Miss Catherine and other spirits in the house. Yeah, that's Walter. Yeah, that's him. That's him. That's him. That's him over and over. And he has consistently, expressed to me that he has no remorse, that he's very confident in his, yes, I pushed her down the stairs. Yes, like very much a, okay, what about it kind of spirit. And
Mm-hmm.
her, I don't know what words will get like flagged or not. Her BLOOD is in the house. It's on the stairs. It's in the house. It's something I point out in the tours when I do the little walkthrough. I shine the flashlight at the bottom of the stairs, and I'm like, right here. Like these stairs 100% were built in the 30s or 40s. You can tell, look at them. Like the how
Mm-hmm.
old they look, the color of the wood, the color of the paint. Yes, he is, Chris, in the chat. Um, the color of the paint on the stairway, just all of it. Like there's a bunch of different flooring in the house, and you can tell how old each is. But I truly do believe that you don't need to have past in a house to leave your energy there for,
Mm-hmm.
I suppose, your ghost to form there. And it's very true that trauma and heavy, sudden, dark, sad, depressive energy can pour into things. Um, a good example of that, actually, let me see if Ben will let me turn this on. So this shelf up here, there is, whoa, I almost dropped it. So there we go. The blonde doll, her name is Missy. She actually lived at the house I work at for a long time. I brought her home just a few days ago because I recently reconnected with the creator that gifted me that doll over a year ago. And the first thing that doll told me was, how do I keep it super vague? Because I'll get into a whole story. She basically told me, this doll basically told me she remembers the day that I mentally was like, I don't want this thing anymore because it belonged technically to the person that it started till death investigations with me. That is no longer a
Mm.
part of it. And, this doll felt that mental disconnect from me of the disagreement, the fight, the anger, the emotion, the heartbreak, all of
Mm.
that. Because I
Mhm.
turned on Spirit Talker and I turned on my SB7 Pro, and I'm like, Missy, hi, it's been a while, like just kind of like, oh gosh, how do I talk to this doll again
Mhm.
after all these months? And the first thing she said was window smashed. And my poor guests, like I did kind of brief them on like what I was expecting to hear, but I was like I was just so taken aback by like not only is she still active, but she's confirming to me she remembers the exact day that I mentally didn't tell a soul disconnected from her. And
Mm.
she held on to that energy, you know? And at that time, she wasn't a very active doll per se. It was one of those things where, I first got her, did a few spirit box sessions, confirmed it was a male, and
Mhm.
then never heard from him again. And
Mhm.
then every now and then, Missy, are you active? Are you here? No? Okay. Brought her to the house. And then that day, just a few days ago, I get that. And it's a female voice.
You just spoke on something that I've tried to explain but I don't. It's hard to show it when it's not happening
Mhm.
in front of.
Yeah.
So energy that's not considered, like, we have the categorization of like this is a residual energy versus a cognizant energy, or others might know it as like intellectual things
Yeah.
like that. You can go from one to the other.
Mm-hmm.
You can go
Mm-hmm.
from a stagnant energy to like a non-cognizant, like spatial, I'm taking space when I'm not doing anything energy,
Yeah.
into a cognizant energy through an activation of some energetic change, usually emotionally based.
Yeah. 100%.
You will power that up, which is why I've always said, like with haunted spaces, the energy put in is the energy put out. So a lot of times when you go somewhere, I get hyped about places all the time.
Me too.
Like, Tharyn, you have to go here. It's the scariest place I've ever been in my life. I go, it's a completely different experience because I'm chill as heck.
Yes.
Fucking, what's up, homies? I'm here
Yeah.
to hang out. And they're like, what is this BS going on right now?
Yeah.
Because I'm not like, well, Jill St. Augustine, like, is a great example of this because they are very
Mhm.
active. They know their audience. They know what they're
Mhm.
supposed to do. And when I went, I
Mhm.
was really like, oh my God, that was great. Good job, guys. And they were like, what is actually happening? They are
Yeah.
not screaming. They are not crying. What? And
Yes.
I'm like, I'm just really excited to be here. Like, get out. Just get out of my face. Because they were mad. And
Exactly.
it's such a weird movement between how we give to them and how they give us. It's almost
Mhm.
coming into an equivalent exchange in its own way.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
touch my ball, that goes, and I give you energy to do so. Equivalent
Yes.
exchange.
Exactly. Yep. It makes me think of the first time I showed my newest team member Kyle Laurel's House of Horror, where the haunted attraction. And I was so excited because this is where the mimic exists. This is where I've had insane activity. Like probably my list of top 5 like craziest activities that I can remember, because narrowing it down is hard. To even narrowing it down to
Mm-hmm.
10 is hard. But yeah, majority of my top experiences came from there. And I was so excited to show him this crazy active place. And because I did not walk in fearful and he did not walk in fearful, he just walked in curious. It
Mm-hmm.
was dead. Nothing happened, which confirms what we were saying about, like the entities being fueled by fear or excitement. We just kind of walked in excited, but not over the top, like literally bursting, vibrating with excitement. And it was just
Mm-hmm.
dead. Like he's since had experiences there, thank God. But yeah, like that specific night, I was like, all right, spirit friends, seriously, please, please, can you do something?
I have to ask you, just because
Yeah.
that's the direction that we've gone. Do you ever, as more experience grows and
Yeah.
more centered self, do you ever go out to places and go, oh my God, maybe ghosts aren't real? Because nothing happens, like, at all. Like, you got that hype was there. You're like, I'm going to the most haunted place in Michigan right now. I'm from Michigan. And you go and it's just like oh, this is fine. It's a vibe. And it's
Yeah.
like, are ghosts even real? It's almost like an existential crisis
Yeah.
of like, is it me? Am I the drama?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Right. It's like I haven't questioned if they were real because I would just kind of be like, okay, well, I know they're real, but like, why are they not here? They know I want to talk to them. Why are they not talking to me? They, what's up? Like,
I
what do
also
you,
made a video
guys? Come
about
on.
this. Mhm. Were you like hurt? Like you're offended and also hurt? You're like, what is hard for you right
Yeah.
now? Like, I thought we were cool, man. But
Yep.
like, haunted places as a whole, there's many. There's probably thousands at this point. But I'm going to ask you a very controversial, ruffle the feather sort of
Yeah.
question. What place deserves the hype, and what place do you feel personally does not deserve the hype? I'm deathly curious.
Oh, that's a good question. So I've traveled mostly along the Northeast, mostly like Maryland,
Hmm.
Virginia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, majority of
Same girl.
Pennsylvania, actually. What doesn't deserve the hype? That's very controversial. I'm gonna stick to Gettysburg because that's where I stay and investigate the most.
Hmm.
What does not deserve the hype is the Jenny Wade house, not to be confused with the Jenny Wade birthplace, because the Jenny Wade house, Jenny Wade didn't live there. Yes, there's paranormal activity there. Yes, I know wonderful people that work there. Um, but it's yes, Jenny Wade was ended there. It is very important to
Hmm.
the story of the battle in general. I live and breathe
Hmm.
the Battle of Gettysburg and its story. I tell it on my
Hmm.
tours. Jenny Wade did not grow up there. I don't know, what they say in the script, but she did not grow up there. The Jenny Wade birthplace, where she grew up, I've seen some crazy activity and residual activity as well, because Jenny Wade's father was not all there. And I've
Hmm.
heard him yelling. It was crazy. Haven't heard that in the Jenny Wade house. I've absolutely been inside the house, but I haven't experienced anything crazy.
I hope you're ready for the flurry that's going to happen because you said that
I
out
know.
loud with your
I
mouth.
know. I know.
Okay, for the record, I'm going to back you up on that one. If we're going to
Yeah.
go to a specific place, we're going to say Gettysburg.
Hmm.
The Jenny Wade house was the least haunted place that I had been to. And
Hmm.
I didn't, Jenny Wade was not there. There was
Hmm.
no Jenny Wade. There was the idea of Jenny Wade, but
Yeah.
really more so, and I would love for you to, from your
Oh
own
no.
experience,
Oh, it
there
went
was a
offline for a
weird
second.
guy. Oh, are we
It
good?
did. Yeah. So you were saying, oh my gosh.
Ah, there it is. So,
Oh, the
Wade
picture. Yeah.
house.
That's the birthplace. That's the
Um,
birthplace.
That's a gorgeous house. Also, I love
It's
old
gorgeous.
architecture. Oh my god.
I know, me too.
So there, when I went with my partner Rebecca, the ghost guide, our friend
Ooh,
Alex and
cute.
Jason. We were. I was just like, there's a mannequin over there. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But there was this weird guy in the back corner in the dark. Kept being, like, you see him here, and I was like, what do you want? And
Yeah.
he was so creepy, like skulking around in there. He looked very lanky, but he didn't look like he belonged there. He looked
Yeah.
like you might imagine like something like a thought form or like with long limbs.
Yeah.
And I've never really like my friends did mention they've run into something similar in the basement. Have you ever seen?
That's weird. It keeps going offline for like a split second. No, I haven't. I've experienced
Interesting.
a little boy um in
I
that
feel like
house.
we.
Like I've
Mm-hmm.
seen like that little roped off area with the chain where there's like a few
Mm-hmm.
little toys and stuff. I've seen that chain start swinging when we're all just
Mm-hmm.
standing still,
Mm-hmm.
no air movement in that area whatsoever. I've seen it swing and then I've seen it stop on command and then I've seen it start swinging again on command. So it was kind of like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
hi, so and so, yay, we're playing right now, like whatever the little boy's name was. I don't remember. Um, and maybe it is the kind of thing where I just need to investigate it more because I agree.
Mm-hmm.
There was a comment a second ago that said something else I preach to people. Like sometimes a place is dead the first three times you go, and then the next three times you go, it's the most active area you've ever experienced ever. You know, so I say that about everywhere I've ever gone, like Sachs Bridge in Gettysburg. My first two, actually, my first four times going there, I was like, okay, it's just a bridge. Like I was excited. I expected some activity. Nothing crazy happened. And then the next time I went, We literally heard bugles in the distance, in the middle of the night.
Gettysburg
We
always
were getting
serves.
3 REM pods that were all, I mean, at least 8 feet apart, going off at the same time.
Wow.
I was like, okay, never mind. Yeah, there's activity here. Yeah. So I do wholeheartedly think it's one of those situations, you know.
Yeah, I would agree with that. My philosophy with investigating is to try to go more than once you can. Now, that's not to say that it's easy to do that, because being an investigator, and we're going to talk about that, is expensive. Oh,
Yes.
bridge.
Saxbridge.
Covered bridge. That's such a Pennsylvania thing too. I'm from Pennsylvania, for those who did not know that. I grew up in Bucks County. We were the covered bridge capital.
Yeah.
There is not a not story about a covered bridge with a woman and a baby and like crying and things like that. Every bridge has their story.
It does.
It's so imperative for replication in our field, but also like consistency. Yeah, the first time out, I'd be like, you're kind of weird looking. Other times they'll be like, interesting. You are a woman. I like women. I will talk to you. Or they just don't do anything at all. And then like a couple times in, you're nice, you're polite, and then they're like, oh, hey, it's that weird chick. Hey, what's up?
Exactly.
Has any ghost ever commented on your style?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh yeah. So I regularly would get nose rings. I'm like, yeah, what about them? Because I have 2. And like, luckily, as I fix it, like, luckily, it's always been one of those things where, like, as I'm like, yeah, what about them? You know, like, usually I say it a lot nicer than that. I don't say, what about it? Sometimes, depends on the spirit. Anyway, they don't say anything, but I'll get like dark hair, pink hair, red hair, like things like that. And like the red hair one, I'm like, oop, close, keep going, you know, like make it a game. But the only interaction I've ever had that was more than just them mentioning it was hilariously this coffin ring that I always wear. I always wear it. So when I go to the house I work at that I do ghost hunt guides at, I guess I didn't wear it one day, and I didn't even realize I wasn't wearing it until I had the spirit box on, and I heard clear as day, "Where's the coffin?" And I was like, "What do you mean the coffin? Where's the coffin?" "Your ring." And I was like, first of all, points because you noticed. Wow. You noticed I didn't wear it? Spirit friend, my goodness.
Yeah, I want this to be evidence enough of the fact that they do watch, remember. They will know if you're nice to them. They will know when you treat them like trash.
Oh
and
my
they
gosh.
will, if you ask at times, will tell you like, oh, this guy, he was the worst.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Oh my
but
gosh. Absolutely.
Oh, you
I
adorable,
love this.
naive girls. Oh,
I
my
didn't even get into the hard questions yet. Dang it.
Well, we are going to take a quick break, and then I'll let you continue. We certainly have some other things that we want to address on the other side. It's just a quick 3-minute break, but it'll give you time to replenish your drink. And I'm probably going to have Tharyn exit and come back because, yes, you have been disappearing a couple of times, so it might be a connection issue. So if you want, exit and then
Run
come
away
back,
and
and
run
then you
back.
can continue on with this ludicrous questioning.
I love it.
All right, guys, we're going to go to break real quick. When we come back on the other side, we'll continue our conversation with Tabby from Till Death Investigations. You're watching Dead or Alive on the Dead or Full Spectrum channel. We'll be back right after this.
We'll be right back after the commercial break.
I was built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on the gas, never stop competing. If you break my glass, then this life's gonna end.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on
This
display.
is war with the enemy. Think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me. I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm
fast with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grieving. Put your foot on the gas, no, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this.
And now, back to our show.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to our second hour of our interview tonight. Well, I should say Tharyn's interview tonight. She is killing it. Everybody in the chat is absolutely loving the conversation between the two of you. Now, the only thing I wanted to bring up here very quick before I turn it back over to Tharyn is this video. This is the one that went viral on your page,
Yes, it is.
and you guys can see it. You gotta love it. Definitely makes it worthwhile to see other people's captures and their experiences behind that. So, congratulations on that capture. That's really awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
One question before we go back to Tharyn. How many different hats in the field are you wearing right now? And give everybody a little bit of insight with regards to that.
Oh man. So I'm founder and leader of my team. I have two team members, Tori Boo Paranormal and Kyle Corcoran. He was just in the chat earlier. So I'm organizing a few projects as well, like some collaborative projects to we were talking about the community earlier, to just kind of unite the community. Gosh, I am a ghost hunt guide for Ghost City Tours in Gettysburg. I'm currently also working on probably my favorite thing ever right now that I just can't. There he is, he's here. I can't get this released quick enough. It just takes so long. I'm working on a Ghost Hunting 101 virtual course on school.com. It's just going to be a quick little 10 video course, but it covers everything from, what is a haunting? What are the origins of paranormal investigations to, the ethics behind investigating? Because, as you were saying earlier, we're kind of losing it's more so just, yay, paranormal stuff. Let's walk through this haunted place with me, which no hate to you if you post that. I post stuff like that every now and then. It's fun content. It's very fun. I do want to walk through with you, but it leans back more to the, how should you enter an investigation? How should you approach an investigation? What the setup should look like? How do you begin? How do you document things? How do you sit down after and go, okay, I have all this evidence that I need to review. How do I go about doing that? And what to do afterwards to kind of mentally decompress from it, and just all of that, because I do have a lot of questions from followers about that. Last year I would go live often doing paranormal Q&A, so much so that it would prompt the random follower messages after the fact that were like, hey, I have this and that ghost hunting question, and most of it was, how do I get started? So I think that's the most common question I get asked, which I love that, honestly.
I love that. That was always a big question in either of the fields that I work in. If it's paranormal investigation, it's just how to start doing that? And then also with psychic mediumship, it's like, how do I start being a psychic medium?
Yeah.
And really do it. Like, it helps to learn the nuance of the process, because there is a lot of nuance. I think overall, there's a lot of stuff people don't talk about in the process.
Yeah.
Like, I think tell if you agree with this. We're gonna go in a more like, we're gonna get roughly this time.
Yeah.
I feel we've gotten into a place of trust me, bro. Really, just trust me. I'm saying it because it's there, but there's no like reason to. It's a, oh, here's what I'm offering. Like,
Yeah.
backing up your evidence with like facts, or like, this is what we were doing, this is how this happened.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like your photo. What was happening in that moment? How did you notice it, or did you see it later? Like, what was the process from getting that photo to sharing that photo with the evidence that it was?
Yeah, yeah. So I saw it after the fact. I like in the moment I was stuck in the, oh my gosh, wow, like super touristy, looking at the back of the building. The guide is like talking about the back of the building, and I'm just taking pictures of the sides of the building. So like the building in the picture was the one next to the orphanage. And I was, when it did start to go viral, I did the thing where I went back during the day and was like, here's a picture of what it looks like in the daylight, debunked in every way possible. Because I got a lot of people that were like, it's clearly a monument, like, or it's clearly a real person, it's clearly a part of a tree, things like that. And I'm like, I would lay out very clearly, here's exactly why it's not a tree, here's exactly why it's not a monument, it's clear. Like, yes, I see the gray, but it's clear, essentially. Zooming in, sharpening, increasing the exposure, just doing different things to show people, listen, like I've thought long and hard about this, which is why I ended up posting it, like, yes, I caught something. So here. And of course I get all of the, you clearly have schizophrenia and this and that comments, but I'm like, okay, that's fine.
We could
If you
get
don't
into
get it,
that
you're
all
okay.
day.
Yeah, right. Like somebody's
So,
off their meds. Like, actually, I'm not. Thank you.
I'm verified. I'm fine. Thank you very much for your concern.
Yeah,
Also, you're going to diagnose me. I would like to know your license number, please,
exactly.
since you're so
Exactly.
qualified.
Let's book a Zoom call since you're clearly a professional.
So, this is I want to go over step by step real quick, because I think this will be
Yeah.
fun. I have your video pulled up on my phone. I'm looking at it. As I'm sitting here and I do see there is an anomaly of difference in the space behind that fence. There's obviously like there's something there. It's hard to see it from where you're sitting, but it's there. It's there. Like there's like, one could say, oh, is that like a refraction? Is that a light? Is that a mist? Is that like, what was the temp like that night? Those are the kinds of questions you probably already asked yourself before you even showed this off.
Yep.
So we go to the next one. I'm going to put on my, Jesus, I can't see anything. And I'm looking, and now when they look at it from with the arrows, which one fact I want to say about this specifically, I didn't need the arrows to know where to look.
Yeah.
Which is very telling to the capture itself.
Yeah.
You've emphasized it with the arrows, and now like I see you a little bit on the second photo with the arrows. Did you enhance it just a skosh at all,
That
or is
one,
that still the
I
same
honestly
photo?
don't even remember. If I did enhance them, they're all enhanced. It's one of those things.
It
Like
only
mhm.
it looks sharpened just slightly, but only just to clarify the space itself, which makes sense, because you're like, let's differentiate or like brighten it or lower the brightness, because that's what we would do naturally to see the anomaly clear, or if it's actually an anomaly or not, it will disappear if it's not supposed to be there. And then you can kind of clearly see there's a differentiation. They're a great distance from that fence. Like they're hitting here, so they would have had to at least been like some yards away from the fence itself for you to have hit it in the first place. Like these are all the points that like, if like seeing this as it is, if I was just scrolling and saw, I'd be like, huh, that's really interesting. And then would next be like, oh, I wonder what they considered when they looked at this photo. I would say like, you captured an anomaly in that photo based off of the parameters. If I didn't know anything from there, I'd ask. But to dismiss to be like, oh, obviously there's something there. You showed what is not there. And that's part of what proves the anomaly does exist.
Yeah.
Now, can we say, oh, that's a ghost for sure, no problem? Well, technically no, but also technically yes. We can think of a ghost like a UFO. It's not just about it being a ghost, it's an unidentified object.
Exactly. It's paranormal.
It's paranormal.
Oh, Yes, Benjamin's
We say
Oreo.
anytime we reference paranormal specifically, it's like, nope, no lights for you.
He's like me.
But it's like when you go through your process of like your work and stuff, what are some of the bigger things that you've like when you're doing your evidence reviews? What are some of the things that you offer as like perspective of these are things that you should be thinking about? What are you like the five biggest things that you think about personally when you're reviewing your own evidence?
That I
Or
think
does it
about
depend on
personally.
like if you're looking at audio and or like photograph, like give little points for each of them just generally.
Sure. So pictures, first of all, I always try to do live pictures so that way I can really go through and make sure it's not strictly a mist or like if somebody nearby is hitting their vape and it just happened to go in front of the camera or something. Um, I do immediately take into consideration the environment. Is it misty outside? Is it raining? Is it very clear? Is it dark outside? Is it bright outside? Whatever. I'm sorry, I keep like I'm there's a cat on my lap and she's
That's
being
valid.
distracting. She's being distracting.
Oh my God, you blessed me on this day. Praise it.
Kitty. But yeah, no, I definitely do take environment into play immediately. I also always tell people, so I do this too, and I always tell people if you're gonna take pictures, um, I always tell people take more than one picture so that way you can kind of flip between them to make sure there wasn't just some kind of weird glitch or something in one of them. And especially if they're live, when they're live, you really can confirm so much more than just a still picture. Hi, kitten, goodness gracious. Um, but same deal, like I was saying a moment ago, if I enhance any picture, I enhance all of them the same way. So that way one doesn't look starkly different than the other. Because I've dealt with that too, where people being like, well, that doesn't even look like the same picture. And I'm like, well, here, I'll show you that it is, screenshot when you go into your photos and you click on edit and it shows all the adjusted settings, like screenshot, here's the exact adjustments that I made. Here's the exact adjustments I made on this one as well, just to show it further. Because I mean, debunking is important. It's very, very important. I, um, I think the most of the friendships I've made with other teams, I basically deem them as a good team, a team worth getting to know more when I learned that they err on the side of debunking. When they know that like I might have caught something, but let me pin that because I want to go back. I want to go back and listen more. I want to go back and have my team listen more. I want to show this person. I want to show that person. I want to get their thoughts on this. Just to have as many veterans in the industry as possible give their opinion on it. And I'm very big on that. That's really why I consult my team on things like that too. Because of course, if I catch something and I lean on the side of yes, this is paranormal, like I want to post it immediately, but I'm like, hold on, hold on, let's think about this a little more. Hold on, don't get too excited. Don't get lost in the excitement because it's easy to.
It
Um,
is.
and on social media, there's enough of that. There's enough of
Yes.
that out there of the guys, I clearly caught something. Look, but then you were too excited, and then all of the comments are like, I was there for that. That's not.
I literally witnessed you. I witnessed you put your friend there when you took the
Yeah.
picture. So what
Like,
are you
what is this
talking about?
shadow? Girl, it was me.
No, I think we've lost. I think we've lost a lot of the challenge of what we do. We take criticism as an offense personally to
Yeah.
us. You can't question what it is we're providing. There is also, we've lost a lot of room for like constructive criticism between each other as investigators. Like we're all working towards a common goal.
Yes.
But it would seem like, oh well, this is ghost. Now I'm gonna be controversial for a minute and say like, if you have to circle it for me to find it,
Mhm.
I'm a little more sus about it. If you have to be,
Yeah.
if I'm like, they're like, look at this ghost, and I'm like, huh? Where am I
Mhm.
supposed to look here? And then it's like, oh, it's the small little lip at the corner that they had to circle and enlarge, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. It's like I,
But
I agree on that. So like I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Like I agree on
no,
that.
you're good.
Most like anomaly operation captures I post are not circled, but the ones that are, I'm like, well, that's like I'll look back after the fact and be like, it's a good thing they're circled because half of the negative comments are like, I can't even see it in the circle. Where is it? And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
No, I understand. There's a balance between this. Like, if I have to really squint to see what we're talking about, like, it just depends also on the response of the person that's sharing it as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my gosh,
you
yeah.
circling it makes like trail, like your eye, it's right there, and like, but you could see it beforehand. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's neat.
Yeah. But I've had one before where I circled something and a whole bunch of comments were like, you circled that one, but did you see the second one? And I'm like, oh my
Oh,
gosh,
I
actually, I
hate when they do
didn't.
that because you're like, oh, I'm a fool.
What
Can't
kind of
believe I got that.
investigator am I?
I wanted to jump in and ask both of you because you said something very poignant, Theron, which is something that I'm not sure the field really has a grasp of, but you may have a different perspective on it. And that is, we all have the same goal here in the field. I don't
Mhm.
know what that means. If you want to both give your own perspective of what our goal is supposed to be here in the field, what do you think it is? And then I'll tell you mine. Yeah.
I think no, no. I've thought about this a lot, and I'm trying to figure out how to word it. I think in the grand scheme of what we're doing is to find connection to the other side. That's like the generalized version of the goal. Now, how we manifest through that goal of I want to prove ghosts exist, I think we're past that. I think we're past the prove they exist part. But I feel the common goal is connection. Connecting to them, working with them, understanding what a ghost is as we can understand it versus all the belief systems and perspectives about it out there. I think generally it should, well, it could be, should be, perhaps is connection, making that connection. I, it varies from person to person. I can't speak for everyone, but I know for me, and I know when I connect with others, it's to help build understanding of how to connect better. So
Mhm.
that's my general understanding and like thought process on that specifically.
Okay. Tabby?
Yeah, yeah. It's basically the same thing as the connection. For me, it's always been more so like, listen, we are past the fact that ghosts exist. I want to provide that evidence that I am connecting with spirits and that you can too, but I want you to understand through my content, through my teachings, through my whatever, that ghosts are not these, ooh, get out, I'm gonna possess you. Like they're people. I just want people to understand that, really. There is indeed life after death. Ghosts are not all bad. Um, and I think a big one for me too is also that it's okay to believe in the paranormal. I think my channel's almost leaning more towards that lately, is like that the connection of the people in the community and having us all understand that the goal with our content, the goal with our connecting with each other is that, hey, you're a weirdo too. Let's chat. Where do you like to investigate? Things like that. I've met so many people. I had a conversation with a woman like that today, like had been pushed away, yeah, like all of us have been pushed away by friend groups, talked down on, judged, looked down on, whatnot, because we say we believe in the paranormal or we're clairsentient, we're clairaudient, we're things like that. They're like, okay, and then gone, like they ghost you.
Mhm.
But things like that. Like you're connecting with the community of people that do not think you're weird. They're not going to judge you. They're going to be excited to meet you. I love meeting other investigators. And I'm like, oh my gosh, heck yeah. What kind of footage do you have? What's your coolest capture ever? I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Mhm.
Like I love
Yeah.
that so much. It's just kind of, what kind of evidence do you have?
And I appreciate and applaud both of you for that mindset about that connection. Quite some time ago, I got on this mission, and this mission is, I think, extremely important for all of us, realistically. But unless and until we either have a location, a procedure, a person, or a piece of equipment that really can contribute to this, one of the most difficult things that people deal with is the loss of loved ones. And I would love for this field to begin to gravitate towards that potential where when you lose a loved one, and all it takes is that loved one being able to be heard saying, I'm fine, go on with your life. Love your life, enjoy your life, I'm fine. Which, if you've heard enough testimonies, people have always talked about when they did have visitations, that was exactly the message. So to get that in a more consistent form for everyone, not just those in the field, I think that's an important part. I think making that connection to spirit, and when we're off air, I want to tell you again, I think I've talked to Tharyn about the collective consciousness experiments, but how critically important it is to connect and the abilities that everybody has behind that. When you are doing what you're doing out there in the field, and getting to know from the visceral, which is you just feel the sadness or you feel the joy or you feel the anger, transforming that into dialogue, communication, I think is critically important. For both of you, how does being a creator benefit you in the paranormal and benefit the paranormal field as a whole?
Ooh, feels like I have to toot a horn here that I don't know if I like. It's so I try to bad about
'Cause
myself to say my
number one,
life
you're
like
getting
real
the
tough.
message out there. You just have to get the right message out there.
You know what? Actually, there's a twofold perspective to this. So when I first started, it was more just like, hey, this is a thing that happened to me growing up, right? Very point blank. Like I was on a TV show, it was a joke. Let's like, do you want to hear about it? And then it became like I experienced something like that. And then I at first was kind of like I am kind of building into this validation that I didn't find when I was experiencing it originally, and I'm finding community with people who get it and they look at me in such a specific lens of like, well, you're experienced, you're an expert, you know what's going on. I was like, do I? Like, and then I took it so much more serious than that over time. It's not about being right. It's not about being most popular. It's about being relatable and helping people feel like they have a space. It's about
Right.
helping people not to feel so lost in the sauce of it all. Because, like, mind you, I'm on two sides of this fence here. We've got the spirituality side of the we can talk to ghosts and anybody can be psychic, and the paranormal investigation side, which like we can categorize this at the same time. And I want people to feel confident that they too have the power to do it for themselves. It's not just special people, it's not just particular people. It can be anyone if you want to try. Like I used paranormal investigative techniques in sessions with clients so they could hear someone speak to them directly and it worked on
Right.
multiple occasions because that's what they asked. But also, past loved one connections. Hey, see, your dad's pretty active in this space. Why don't you use a touchlight, put it in a very neutral place that doesn't move, check to make sure it doesn't bang around. When you stamp around it, it doesn't go off. Ask him if he can touch it to you for you to let you know that he's here. And it worked. I saw that client recently. She was like, yeah, he still does it. I'll talk to him and he'll just let the light off. I'm like, that's great. Approachability, accessibility. That's the big thing. I work for accessibility to make other people feel empowered. I wanted to empower myself first. I feel empowered enough that I can share that power with other people.
I love
Tabby,
it.
your take on that, the benefit to you in the field and the field itself. How does it
Yeah.
benefit as a content creator?
Yeah. So I mean, I started off kind of the same way. I would just start posting just ghosty stuff. I just call it all ghosty stuff, my ghosty content. Just posting cool stuff. And then I blinked and was like, wow, like there's a lot of other creators out here that do this, because of course everybody's heard of the big names and I knew of the TV shows and all that, but I didn't know it was this big community of people online. So I would post it all to be as authentic as possible. It's like my word at this point is authentic, authenticity. So I just wanted to post my own authentic experiences and explain them as much as I could to people because I wanted them to understand it. And it felt easier and easier over time because I was connecting with, I was getting all of these followers that were other teams that also had that same goal in mind of posting authentically as yourself, authentically as an investigator that just wants to teach people about how to investigate or what a haunting looks like or what this device does or this and that, just in an educational sense. So I that impacted me heavily because I, throughout my entire life, have always strived to be my authentic self, my my independent, rebellious, colorful sense. I'm silly, all of that. I've always been like, no matter who you are as a person, that's who you're supposed to be. Lean into it. Stop trying to be something else because your mom told you to, or social media told you to, or you want to be like this person, therefore you're forgetting this and that part of yourself to be more like this person. That's not you. Be yourself. um, so I leaned into that more, which really has opened up every opportunity in the world for me because I keep getting more and more into this field that I so desperately want to be in, that I am in. But I started watching my followers lean into their authentic self too. And
Yeah.
then I started the ghost hunt guide work. And then I saw it happen in real life, in person.
Sure.
And I would get people reach out to me, or I would get followers, like a random follower that would message me like, "Hey, my friend so and so just took your tour the other night, said that I should follow you. I booked a tour for next week. I love your content. I feel so inspired, this and that." Like, just basically telling me that I inspired their friend so much that their friend inspired them so much. And I'm watching people step into themselves. I'm
Right.
watching people stopping questioning themselves. I'm watching people believe in what they're feeling, hearing, seeing, what they enjoy watching online, ghost stuff. I'm watching people like, hey, I've wanted to learn how to ghost hunt for 10 years. Everybody I asked thought I was crazy, so I abandoned this goal for the past 10 years of my life. Watching your videos, or taking your tour, or hearing about my friend that took your tour, has inspired me to step back into it. How can I learn?
Right.
Those are the things that, like, I keep talking about imposter syndrome all day. Those are the things that give me imposter syndrome. Like, watching the impact I make on people impacts me back. Like, I'm
Right.
watching people be like, you know what, you're right, I should be myself. And I'm like, yes, do it, be yourself. Oh my God, give me a hug.
Can
Could
I piggyback off of what you're saying really fast? I just want to make like one small thing. There are a lot of people who wish to lead, but not a lot of people who can be leaders. And you speak like somebody who wants to lead, but not in the sense of follow me, but come with me. And that's the biggest
Yes.
difference between a lot of what the creative sphere becomes. It's no, follow me, listen to me, do what I do. You're like, do
Yes,
what you do, but learn from me,
exactly.
work with me. It's different. It's a whole different process. I applaud you for it.
Yeah,
It's a
thank
whole
you.
different network to work in, but you're
Yeah,
doing fantastic. That
thank you.
attitude serves.
Yeah, that's why I tell people, like, I've always been a networker. I came from the professional world. I was in B2B sales for years and years. Like, networking, connecting, conversing comes naturally to me. So when the networking and the conversing happens about my favorite topic in the world, the paranormal, it's all that more natural. It's more fun. It's more um it flows easier, because it's about the paranormal. It's about something I'm passionate about.
now, conversely to the two of you, there's a dichotomy in the field when it comes to content creating, and what I'm talking about are the drama queens, and that fits all genders.
Mhm.
But the ones that are going into a place and everything dramatically
Mm,
sets them off, and they're screaming, and then you'll see the other ones that'll say, "Hey, if you give us this many likes or this many gifts, we'll go in the basement. That's our next step, is to go in the basement."
mhm.
My take simply is this: it's entertainment for the sake of entertainment, even though they're making good money and they've got a lot of followers. But my hope in all that they do, as wrong as it is draw the interest of new people. And then those new people can be steered in the right direction down the way. As they're going through social media and they've gone on, we get scared paranormal, but eventually they hit Tharyn and they hit Tabby and they said, okay, let me see what these guys are about. And then they go, yeah, this seems a little more logical than screaming at every little thing that happens at an investigation. Are
If I
you of the
scream,
same
you know
mind?
something's wrong.
Yeah.
Same. Same.
But and I know it's frustrating, but at the same time, it's almost an evil necessity. It's going to be there. It's not going to go away because it's content for viewership and likes.
And it's hard on TikTok because as somebody who goes live somewhat regularly, I'm trying to do it more. TikTok essentially encourages you to do things like that. Um, doing the challenges and all that. The algorithm will not push your live stream unless it shows that you are actively making your
Being
viewers
bonkers
interact
banana.
with you.
Tell me about it.
It's definitely hard.
Can't be mad at the hustle. Like, I get it. I
Yeah.
do. From a creator standpoint, I get it. You're making your money.
Mhm.
It's not the most moralistic way to do it.
Mhm.
But I guess at the same time, a lot of people have found me because they didn't want that kind of energy. They're like, I really like the paranormal, and I used to follow iscreamatghosts.com, and he just constantly screams about ghosts. But then I found you were so calm, and
Yeah.
I was like, where's the disconnect here?
Mhm.
There has to be, like, this is the necessary evil of life. There has to be examples of either side of a spectrum for you to know where you sit in that spectrum.
Yeah.
If we didn't have that, there would still be somebody going like, well, I wonder what would happen if you cried because you were scared. We can't all be calm all the time.
Yeah.
But it can really kind of push people into be like, this is kind of ridiculous. I want to find people that are chill because I don't be acting that way. And like if I'm screaming at a haunted location, I'm being murdered, or there is a literal cockroach in my hair.
Yep.
Like, or something really bad is happening.
Same.
There's no other reason.
Oh yeah. I've had some freaky things happen to me. And even then, like the worst you will see me do is smile. Because I tell people all the time, it takes, and I've literally had spirits try to scare me by saying this because I tell it to people all the time and I say it on purpose in new locations. It takes a lot to scare me in the paranormal world. A lot. And like I've had jokester, I have an attachment. I kind of have two. I have a second one that's basically an attachment at this point that anymore when I say that, he's like, "Oh yeah," and will give me, I mean, a literal, if I'm standing near a staircase, a step on the stairs, like he's stepping down, or a floorboard creak directly next to me, like little things that are like, "Oh yeah, it doesn't take a lot, Tammy, does it?" Like, but it's just that specific spirit, like I test it anymore because I'm very much I'm so fascinated by all of it that the teeniest little noise off in the distance that very well could be paranormal is not going to scare me. It's not. It's going to fascinate me.
I had my time to be afraid when I was young, and I was like a young medium trying to understand what the hell was going on in my space without the have luxury. And like, we're around the same age. We didn't have the luxury when we were kids of having paranormal.
Yeah.
We had terrifying ghost stories from haunted places on the History Channel.
Yeah.
And like, this ghost will stab you in the gut, and you're like, oh
That's
my
exactly.
god. And then Ghost Hunters and Ghost Adventures. And those are two very different perspectives of the field entirely.
Very.
So you had to find which lane you really stuck with, and I'll be real, like Ghost Adventures, I was like, this is scary as hell. Why am I watching this? I'm living in a literal haunted house watching him get gut punched by a ghost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I was afraid then, and I worked really hard to get to a point of experience and understanding. I want to know bad, explain it from then, that I brought it to now, and I'm like, oh, well, Bob just screamed in my face. I literally watched him walk up to me, and he was like 80 years old. And I'm not scared. I'm just like confused.
Yeah. Right. Right. That makes me wonder too. I have a quick question. Because you saying like punched in the gut made me remember an experience, and it made me wonder if you've ever felt like you had a gotten punched experience before in a paranormal sense.
Ma'am. So here's this funny thing about being psychic. Sometimes when we say it feels like somebody's getting stabbed, it feels like somebody's getting choked, or it feels like I can't breathe, it's because they're sharing that sensation with you. I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. You've happened to you, right?
Yep.
I remember on one occasion specifically, I was out testing this space, and I decided I'm brave and I can be by myself. And I straight felt somebody like in the back of me, like in my kidney. And I was push. It's not like you fell and you're like, ah. It was more just like, oh my God, am I dying? And then as soon as you leave that space, boom, it's gone. And then
Yep.
you think you're insane. Like
Yeah.
truly insane.
Oh yeah. It's like even though I know and I proved to myself over and over and over that I am all of the Claires, and that I'm very sensitive and I absolutely had 10,000 paranormal touch experiences, it's still every time a new one happens, I'm like, what is happening right now? And like I have to do that mental process of like, am I crazy? No, I'm not crazy. This happened on Tuesday. Like, yeah, I've absolutely had. Um, I was going through my head earlier, like, what even were my craziest experiences? Because I've had so many, and I put in my list the time that I genuinely felt like I was punched in the face, and forgot that it was posted. I was under Estes. You can see an orb fly up to me. It stops in front of me. I shudder. I take the headphones off and I say, sorry, I had to take them off real quick because I feel like I just got punched in the face. And of course, at the time, I didn't know an orb flew up to me. I just remember telling the guy over and over it was hot. And like I've had numerous touch experiences that some feel the stereotypical ghostly cold, some feel hot, some feel like a scratch, some feel like irritation or like a bug bite. Like that, it all feels different. Like general touches, like just a hand across your arm, finger poke or something. Sometimes it feels as light as a cobweb. Sometimes it feels like a genuine poke. It all varies. But the painful ones I've noticed for me lean more towards the side of it feels warm. So that hot circle on my jaw, I was like, yeah, no, I got punched in the face.
I had a spirit. It was I was literally at a show at a theater, very haunted theater. Was not thinking about that at the time. I'm sitting there, nobody's sitting behind me. I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to see this musical. And I feel this go up the back of my hair and ruffle my hair. I was like, who? Turn around, nobody. And I was like, I look at my lady, I'm like, hey, let's just me. I don't know what to do
Yeah.
about that, so I'm just gonna watch the show.
Yeah.
Or like getting punched in the back. One time I was doing an investigation. One of my best ghost friends that I've ever had, her name was Mary. Long story, another time. She passed away from tuberculosis. And we were having this moment of conversation about it because we were just genuinely historically curious. Like, so what did you do to help treat your tuberculosis? Because we didn't have the same kind of at the time. And out of nowhere, I started like coughing. It was a cough I'd never experienced before in my life. It burned into my throat. I was like hacking. It just went from being like to couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Suddenly, our S box lights up and it goes, "You need mustard and vinegar." And I was like, huh? Found out that was a breathing method of the way they used to help treat it, to use mustard and vinegar.
Yeah.
And then after that came through, it went away.
Yeah.
Like, here's the treatment. And then I was like, oh, context.
Yeah.
I almost had to die for that.
Right. Like, thank you for telling me in that way. Gosh. Like,
Thanks for punching me in the face.
yeah. God.
Well, I think it's an important aspect of what you guys do, and for those who are viewing this interview right now, to delve a little bit for us into attachments, which you both mentioned, you both dealt with. And, I am of the belief that, again, attachments can happen for a multitude of reasons. It's not just the raw emotion of fear or anger or sadness, but I really believe also that they crave what our electrical impulses can still experience with a cigar or a steak or a drink. And that attachment comes into play because they miss and yearn that corporeal feeling of what it is that we can still enjoy while we're still in the flesh. What are your thoughts on the attachments and people who are so panicked by that word? Maybe we need to come up with a different title, different
No.
nomenclature for it.
I call some attachments and I
Non-corporeal
saw some
connections.
followers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I
Shares.
think, Tabby, I think you should start because you specifically mentioned attachments, and I would love to hear your perspective of that specifically.
Sure. Yeah. And I think the fear that surrounds attachments as a whole is why I call some attachments and some followers. Because of course people ask me a lot too when it comes to ghost hunting, especially if it's their first time ghost hunting ever. They're worried about being followed. They're worried about getting an attachment.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm like, listen, wholeheartedly, if you're going to get any spirit follow you home, any kind of ghostly attachment, through my experience, personal and watching others around me, if any ghost follows you home, chances are it's just for a day or two. And I've had conversations about that with other um, investigators that they were like, it's funny you said that because I feel the same. And I'm like, no way, good, cool. But I've just noticed that, like whenever I do feel like I have been followed home by something, which only ever happens at, I mean, extremely crazy, abandoned, like not a lot of people going there on the regular kind of places. Um, I would get some kind of follower and they would interact for a day or two or let me know in some fashion that they're there for a day or two. Usually it is by the stereotypical ghostly, like the little teeny taps on the wall or a shadow by my door frame or something. Um, and then a day or two goes by and they're gone. And I still question why that is. I wonder more than anything if it is that kind of, while they're here, I can go with them. Let me just do it for fun. But I have no idea why they go back. That's, it's in my list of 170 freaking thousand questions I have about the paranormal. That's why I love the paranormal. Um, because it just opens up more questions over and over and over. But yes, Kyle just brought up a great point in the comments when it comes to full blown attachments. Um, I have two known attachments that I have told at this point, you're allowed here, you're clearly here. So sure, I'm giving you permission to stay. Granted, you don't do anything crazy. But so Benjamin, the one that likes to turn the lights off, um, has never done anything bad, knock on wood. The worst he's ever done, which really proved his existence to me, was knock a fake plant off of my shelf. Directly after I had a conversation with a family member of mine that had visited, when I said, like, I have a ghost friend, his name is Benjamin, she was kind of like, oh, yeah, okay. And I was just kind of like, he, like, in my head to Benjamin, who I had just done an SB7 Pro conversation with minutes prior. So she's like, okay, whatever. And then walks out to the couch. And I mean, 2-3 feet away from this couch, there's a corner shelf on a wall, teeny tiny, like this big, fake plant sitting on it. I had lived here for 8-9 months at the time. The plant was there for 8-9 months at the time. This thing just straight fell off the wall in front of her. Just straight fell off the wall in front of her. She was, trying her hardest to never believe ghosts exist, not that kind of person. So it was like, yeah, I don't know that. I mean, the AC turning on must have knocked it down or something. And I was just like, Benjamin, that was hilarious. Don't do that again. Don't do it again. But like, that was awesome. That was awesome. And then on the other hand, I have Ed. I have Edward, who is, I'm just gonna grab him. So Edward is arguably my most active haunted item. Is this adorable, innocent looking little bunny. Just this little innocent guy who has knocked a mirror off of my wall that I've had for 6 years that is very sturdy. Knocked off the wall after I had him stay at the house I work at for a while. Brought him home one night, and then just a few hours later, I wake up to this mirror crashing onto the floor. I've had him make lights flicker. I've had him, he doesn't do the light thing, but like he's done the random electrical interferences. And the craziest thing I've ever seen him do, and it is always after I investigate him in some specific way, was crack my fridge open in the middle of the night.
Ooh.
And it was full blown like, cool, yeah, no, like I drove to Gettysburg, came home, passed out, didn't touch the fridge at all. So I know it was closed. So why is it open now all of a sudden?
Ooh,
And then just
that's
kind of was like,
wasted electricity.
It happened the next day, and then it stopped, which, brings me back to that whole a day or two kind of thing of activity. But it's always when I kind of, hey, friend, I acknowledge him in some kind of way and let him come through to me in some kind of way is when I get some activity. But the connection you were talking about,
Yes.
if I had a REM pod on him right now and started doing this with his ears, it would start going off. I don't know if it's because he likes the grooming or if it's just the touch in general. I always got the kind of feeling, we were talking about the feelings and how to not fight them when it comes to you, that he was the kind of guy in life that must have had a partner that would give little head scratchies or something or play with his hair or something. Because faithfully, every time I mess with his ears when there's equipment on, it'll start going off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, exactly, Jonathan. He likes my touch. He likes the touches. And Benjamin, he likes being read to. He'll make a REM pod go off in very specific manners when I start reading out loud.
Does he have a particular genre that he enjoys? Or just in general?
In general, I think the main thing I have ever read to him was, hilariously enough, as a spiritual person, you'll understand, oracle card meanings.
Oh, yeah. All day long. Let's read. That's what I do all day anyway.
He's like, read the thing. I want to know about the goddess because I have a goddess guidance oracle deck.
All I've been seeing in the chat the entire show is how fast this time is going by, and damn did it. I think Ken and I are out of a job.
We're
You
just
guys
eating.
I know, I love it.
killed it. But before we close out, though, we got to certainly get into this topic. So let me play this real quick, and then you can tell us, Tabby, what's going on here. Now, I know at least at the last posting, everything is TBD, to be determined, the date and all that stuff. Once that's fixed in, we'd love to have maybe the entire crew come and join us on the show.
Oh my
So
gosh,
talk it
that would
over
be
with them
awesome.
and see what they think. But
Yeah.
tell us about it.
Yeah. So it's brand new. So Forgotten Explorations is the mastermind behind the whole project. We met them accidentally, gosh, a few months ago at this point, by visiting a location called the Cabin on 360 in Virginia. If you are in or near Virginia and would like to try out a paranormal investigation, please look them up. The Cabin on 360. Incredible place, very, very old, a lot of history. It's a battlefield, the works. um, so we knew that this team named Forgotten Explorations would frequent that place. They lived nearby and were there a lot. So, Kyle and I were nearby at one night, and we were kind of like, you know what? Let's look up some haunted places nearby. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at that. The cabin is 30 minutes away. No way. Let me text Dennis real quick, the manager of the place. See if we can at least come for like a 20-minute tour, just to look at the place because we've heard about it for so many different times. I've talked to Dennis on the phone before. And he was like, yeah, I mean, there's a team here investigating, but who knows, maybe they'll let you collab. And I was like, okay, didn't want to interfere, wholeheartedly expected to be there for just 20, 30 minutes. No, we were there collabing with them on our dual live streams until like 4 a.m. We got there at like, I don't know, like 9. Um, coolest team ever, instant paranormal friendship. And, the months went by, the engaging with each other's socials, whatever. And then Austin, the founder of Forgotten Explorations, was kind of like, hey, Tabby, I have an idea. And I was like, oh, I like ideas, And it's kind of like, yeah, so like I know, we do the all night live streams. They do like 8 hour long live streams. It's awesome. And I try to live stream all my investigations too when I can. So he was kind of like, yeah, so I'm thinking create this project, this group collab, of creators that are actively trying to grow. Creators we're friends with, creators we want to be friends with, things like that, where we all go to a spot together, investigate together, but separate, all live at the same time, so everybody can get different point of views. We direct our viewers to jump in and out of live streams to get the different points of view and leave really all of it up to the viewers. Like we're still brainstorming what exact ways we want viewers to interact, but it is all up to the viewers. Where we go, what we do, what methods we use to investigate, and specifically the challenges. So we are going to do, we have incentives in place that you will find out to have the viewers pick which of the creators in the group will go solo in the dark, in a basement, in the woods. We'll open a Ouija board session. We'll open a portal using mirrors, like very traditional portal. We'll do Estes method alone with the live stream. With the other live streams verifying, they're allowed, things like that. We really want it to be up to the viewers. Like we just really want a viewer focused experience. And I love it so much because, I keep going back to it. The paranormal community. We want para-unity. We want creators to be able to work together. So we just kind of handpicked, he kind of handpicked, a few creators to try this out with. And we have a location in mind. We have a date in mind. We have a lot of things in mind. There is a lot more to it that is really hard to not talk about because we really want it to be,
Sure.
tune in to find out.
Yeah. The big secret will be revealed soon enough, and you'll find it again on Tabby's social media, YouTube and TikTok at Till Death Paranormal or Till Death Investigations. Tharyn, wow, just a fantastic, fantastic job tonight. Now, hold up. How many more questions did you still have? Because
No, you know what? If we're winding it down, I feel very satiated with my questions. I feel like I feel very well informed about the guests this evening, which I should just play this. And it's really great to like be able to connect with other people, and like in this setting specifically, like it's been a hard road since I started. It was very aggressive back in the day with people being like, "Oh, you're schizophrenic," going hee hee, and I was like, "Bro, I swear to God." it can be it can be very easy to find like-minded people who really just want the best for each other, and it can be easy to find the wrong side of that group of the internet and everything. And it's like it's kind of like one of my favorite phrases I heard recently was, "You can't compete with me because we're not competing. Like I am taking you with me. Let's go together." And I love to see it. And I'm so happy to have gotten to get to know you. You're fantastic. You're fun. Also, you stomp around from my neck of the woods. So can't
I
hate that.
love it. We clearly need to like FaceTime on the regular or something at this point.
We need to link up. Dude, live investigations were my bread and butter in the beginning stages. I have done Estes with the live speaking the question. Great success, I will tell you. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
No, I would love to work with you in the future. I travel all the time. I've got ins all over the place. I'd be happy to coordinate and go do something fun.
Yes.
and think
We'll
about
have to
it.
get Paranormal Tej and Morgan in it, and we'll all go together.
Yeah, yeah, and Tharyn can come up to Gettysburg. You can go down and do the battleship. I mean, there's just yeah,
We just did the USS North Carolina for the first. I did it for the first time. We hosted an event back in the early beginning of the year. Brought a whole group of people in. Like, we're going to give you a full paranormal experience. One of the most underrated haunted cities in the South, USS North Carolina. What the hell? It was great. Had a great time.
Even stop by the film site for The Conjuring.
Yeah, that was Ken and them. They went
Yeah.
over to check that out. We took all our friends to Fort Fisher, very haunted fort that's over on the beach. We went to the USS North Carolina. We toured around town. We had food together. Like did a whole like weekend trip of just like let's experience together. And then all these people are also like kind of sensitive and psychic at the same time. So it's like you had me who's just like the big bad paranormal investigator, and then you and my partner who's like the professional teacher of psychic mediumship. And we work together to do that. And I would love to like work and see other methodologies and like work with other people with different experiences and different methods that they're using. And yeah, please like feel free. We follow each other on TikTok. Message me anytime. And I will give you my phone number, and you'll be very special.
Yes, right back at you. With a little heart and the ghosty emoji with the name and
Just
everything.
like sparkles.
That's the magic of Dead Air Full Spectrum is bringing
Exactly.
people together. It's an important part.
Para unity.
Yep. Tabby, Tharyn, do not go anywhere. Stay with me for a second. We're going to close out here. For all of you joining us tonight in the chat, thank you so much. Please feel free to subscribe. And for our Patreon members, tomorrow night, Town Hall, beginning at 8 p.m., Ken has a couple of anecdotes from the Saturday night investigation to Lafayette Dupree House. So make sure you guys come check it out. We'll see you next time. Until then, have a good beginning of June. We'll see you then. Take care. Hang in there, guys.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh.